Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Carnage report video. Seems like we've been doing a lot of those after our rides, but before we get this video started, I want to take a minute and say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. This video should fall between the two sometime, but we're going to go over some of the damage that myself and Sherry back there came across or found ourselves in on our Windrock trip. I think Scott fared out with just a bad wheel bearing. He did flop on Walden's Ridge, if you saw that video. But the carnage that I have is from a rollover on Trail 39, Airplane Hill. If you didn't catch that video, go check that out. But so I'm going to drain the front diff to make sure that there's no foul play in there. On the way back, I had to drive it with it locked, and there was a click, and every once in a while, so I want to check the front diff. But there's one small dent here in the front bumper. That's no big deal. Cage took a hit here. I believe I showed that in the video. The roof, not too bad. The light bar didn't fare out too well.
No, I don't know where it is.
I think it's over in the camper. Yeah, it's junk. I get another one. I think that's all up here. Back here we have some stuff, some broken plastic. Not too bad. We have Scott's wrench on here holding it from bending, and Scott should be here any minute. He's coming down this weekend to help us out, so you'll be seeing him here shortly.
You could tell them what your name ended up being.
Yeah, there's
Finally.
okay. So after how long have we had these? A little over 2 years, 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, we've had these for 3 years. But if you follow along on the channel, you know that I've had zip ties holding most of my plastic on for the better part of a year. Front light bar, 2 zip ties. They've been on there going strong for almost 2 years. Rear fender, zip tie. Rear fender, zip tie. Trailing arm, many zip ties. So if you're catching the theme, we decided to call my side-by-side zip tie. So I think that's what we're going to name it from now on. It's going to be called zip tie, which is it's a good name. It's a good name for it. Well, I showed you this, I showed you the cage, I showed you the trailing arm. I have my bed. It broke. Plastic broke. There's a little bubble here. I'm not sure what else is going on. It broke. It broke all along there. This whole thing cracked along here. The cooler mount, it's messed up a little bit. Maybe just bent. We'll figure that one out. But the majority of the issues are inside of here, which is my final drive gear. And if you can remember back, when was that, a year and a half ago or so? Yeah, Sherry spun her rear final drive gear, and we replaced it. And that was at what, 4,000 miles?
Yeah.
Mine has 9,000. So not too bad. It was bound to happen. But here's the
Again, though, because I'm at 8,500 now.
yeah, here's my new final drive gear. Shout out to Alpha Power Sports for coming through on this. We have more radius rods, an axle, more radius rods. Let's take them out and show them yours while we're here. think where we left off last was, I think the last clip you guys might have saw was at the end of the airplane hill. I think I might have shown a clip of us leaving and hers in the trailer. So hers is hanging on. It's got, you can see a crack right there. So we have it splinted with some zip ties.
I don't know if you can see it.
We have, that bar was broken in half, so we inserted our CV puller there, and then ratchet strapped it tight so it wouldn't fall apart.
Had to turn around on the top of the airplane.
Yeah.
And there was a stump and it was off camber. And I had to just keep inching and it just creased it just enough.
Yeah, so I don't think we need to go aftermarket yet. We've only bent maybe a handful in 3 years, and
That's the first broken one.
But we've bent like probably, I don't know, even 5. That's still, it's only, if we pay full retail, that's 500
Also,
bucks. You can't even touch an aftermarket set for 1,000. So
the ones that we have replaced were usually the bottom that we were hitting off rocks.
yeah, we got the RC.
I don't have them on there in there.
Yeah, we got the RC to replace here. The RC ones are stronger. They're thicker.
And they are raised.
Anything else?
Nope. On my door, I guess.
Oh yeah, the door got messed up.
It's metal, so
It's
it just dented it, but we'll just push it back out.
yeah, we'll get that. One shot Sherry. Sherry killed it at Windrock. If you didn't get to see those videos, we'll get to those. We'll get to those another time. And all of those, and all of that, and all of that. Don't pay any attention to that. We'll get to that in another video. But this video, Scott should be here any minute. We're gonna tear into my machine. We're gonna repair the radius rods. We're gonna pull the transmission, pull the clutches, take the muffler off, pull the transmission out, replace it. We'll probably show you a little bit of doing that, but if you need to know like full detail of that, we did a video on Sherry, so you can go back and check that out. But I think that's what we're going to get into as soon as Scott gets here. Aside from some broken plastic, I mean the final drive gear is a bummer.
Yeah, it just, all the weight landed on just this tire when you're up in the air. So
that is a new axle. This was a used axle because I broke one, so we put a used one in it as a spare, and I should have replaced it because it was probably worn down. So that's probably why that happened. But had that not happened, you know, none of that would have cost me any money. But the radius rod, $100, axle, $200, final drive gear, $350 retail. Alpha Power Sports really helps us out with stuff like this. So if you're in the Pennsylvania area, give them a call. Check with Brian Parts, Sean for sales. They'll get you hooked up. They'll get you really good deals. They can ship stuff to you. But I think we're going to start tearing into this. We're going to kick the heat on because it's starting to get a little bit cold out. So we won't let you, or we'll heat it up in here, and then we'll come back once it's heated up in here so you don't hear the motor running in the background. But we're going to start tearing into this, and we're going to get all of this taken care of and get back on the trail. It's been about a week and a half since we were at Windrock. So
already started the twins.
Yeah, I need to get back out there. There he is. Here he comes to save the day. Ooh. What's he got? I think he brought the bender. Oh. What's this hunk of steel?
That is a tubing bender.
Tubing bender. What we need that for? Alright, it's coming. Ooh, that looks shimmery, doesn't it?
There's nothing on the magnet at all. Nothing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. No, it just looks normal to me.
Good.
Well, here comes some shiny stuff. Oh, you know what? I think it's the light. Take the light away.
It's still a little bit different color.
Once we get a drain, maybe we'll pull it out.
But there's nothing on this magnet.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
I can deal with some dust. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but...
Are we going to do this first, Jesse?
No, we can pull the transmission first.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I can do that diff by myself if we don't have time. There's a lot of shine to this, more than I would like. And nothing's sticking to the magnet. So there's a chance it could be aluminum. I know my carrier is aluminum, so we'll make sure we pull the diff and check to make sure everything's all good there. But we're gonna start pulling this transmission and get this gear popped in. Putting the gear in is like a 10-minute job. Pulling that's a couple-hour job. So we'll be back with you, and we'll get this pulled out, and we're gonna check on the Halo 30. We're gonna remove the secondary and the primary so we can get at the transmission a little bit easier. I think we'll pull these primary, secondary off, and then we'll pull this belt cover off, and then we'll be able to get to the bolts and everything on the transmission. But I figure while we're here, we'll show you how to pull this stuff off. Belt's still in good shape.
Should be. It's pretty much new.
Yeah. We've never had any belt issues. We'll pull the secondary off. It's 17 millimeter. Looks pretty good. A little dusty. All in all, pretty good.
That's no dust number 1.
Alright, now we'll pull the primary. And do we have a clutch tool here? Or is it still open?
It's in the camper.
Okay. We're gonna go grab the clutch tool in the camper. We'll put that in here. We'll pop the primary off. This is the clutch puller tool that I use. I got it straight from KWI when I got their warranty killer secondary rollers. If you're wondering what tool I use.
It hasn't let us down yet. I've seen a few people did, and
they bent the
crinkled,
tips on them. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, this is something you definitely don't want to skimp on.
No.
Pay the extra money.
Most of the time, you're not really supposed to use an impact, but we are. So take that for what it's worth.
Pop goes the weasel.
Look at all that dust in there.
Yeah. Well, dude, we were riding some pretty dust, and you were first. Imagine what me and Sherry's look like. Especially mine. I'm getting 2 of them.
Yeah, right.
All right. What about that?
Clutch looks good. Not bad for 9,000 miles, huh?
Right?
No, look at that. I mean, it's
smooth. I
yeah.
don't see any ridges or anything.
I see a little line, but I mean, it's barely enough to fill with your fingernail.
Right at the bottom.
But I mean, yeah, 9,000 miles. What are you gonna?
Oh yeah.
Can't complain about that.
Yeah, I see it now. It's really
nothing to worry about.
I don't think so.
Slider shoes could probably be replaced again. We did a video on that.
That's probably where the belt rides the most.
Yeah, when it's idling and stuff.
Yeah, very low RPM.
Yeah. Cool. All right. There's that. We got to remove this cover here, this belt box. Gotta take these bolts out here. I don't think these come out. I think that's just to force air through. But we'll pull these. We'll take this hose off here. There's a hose back there we can pull off, and then we'll get this out of the way and we'll come back and show you a little bit of the transmission. Alright guys, this is what we have. This is with the belt cover off. So it's one thing to look at is when we were taking this off, that stayed on. And what that is that. So I got 2 good ones here, 4 good ones up here. I'm not going to worry about this for now because I don't want to get into replacing anything, but if another one goes and I'm only down to like 1 back here, then I'll have to replace that at that time. But for now, I'm just gonna run with it. It is Sherry and Scott over there making all this kind of racket.
Somebody's got work,
I know. So at this point, take these bolts off here. It bolts into the motor. These 3 bolts back here. Muffler bracket, transmission bracket back here. They're working on getting that side off and getting the axle off over there. Unhook your wiring. A couple bolts over there on the motor mount, and it's pretty much ready to pull. Alright, Scott's working on taking those brackets off. Probably hard to see, there's a shadow on it. The transmission brackets. We took this back plastic off to be able to get the exhaust out. We can pull that out and get it out of the way. Just makes more room. Now what you have here is this. It's like a transmission mount to the frame. We took that bolt out, so the transmission's in there. Just transmission and motor is in there flexing. So now we're to the point where we take this bracket off back here. We'll take this linkage off, this hose, and then we'll take this bracket here. We'll just take this whole thing off, and it's 10 millimeters, and I think either a 12 or a 13 here. And then this bracket will be loose, and we'll be able to take this out that way, and there's more room. So that's what's coming up next. Should be pretty simple from this point. We just unbolt the brackets, take this bracket off, unbolt this bracket up here, and I unbolted one that was over there. And that should be it.
I think it might actually.
Might be loose enough to get by hand.
Yeah, it is.
I think this is the last bolt. We did the rookie mistake of not draining the diff fluid. So drain the diff fluid before you start, or else you'll have a mess.
There's all this stuff over here on this side.
My mistake. I forgot. But we'll get it. Ooh, trapped. Just make sure you guys drain the diff fluid first.
How about it?
Because we did not.
Is our first time?
We'll put some dirt on that, it'll soak it up. It's got a trail going.
Is that okay?
Here's just a little, oh no, it fell off. Just some dirt on it, that's all.
Alright.
Looks good.
Is the seal okay?
See where that collar slides onto that shaft? This is your 4-wheel drive right here. There's a collar. When you actuate it, this collar here slides up and locks onto the shaft of this motor. Right there.
Clean up your mess.
Thanks, appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to take all these bolts, 10s and 12s I believe, all the way around. There's some in here, there's some behind here, there's 2 over here, all of these around here, in there. And we're going to separate these 2, and then it'll be about a 3-minute process of putting that final drive gear in, and then it's repeat the process. Also want to note, mark your shafts, because this can spin. You have to take this cover off, and there's a gear, you got to pull this gear, and this can rotate. So make sure you mark it, because if you put it back in and it's off, then you could be in neutral and it be in park. So that's probably the most important thing to note, is to mark this before you take it off.
It's just those pins for holding it.
Alright, we're good now.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's okay, it lifted up a little when you pulled that out.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. That's pretty serious stuff right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's so scary looking.
Look how beefy those gears are.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty stout. This is
very stout.
your actuator goes here when you hit the 4-wheel drive. This goes from here to there to lock into the drive shaft, or not the drive shaft itself, but this part that I showed you earlier. All right, you want to just we can pull that out and just set it right there. This is how you got, what, 3 or 4 hours of all this crap for a 30-second 30-second gear swap.
Out with the old and with the new.
Just drop it in.
Yeah. All right.
There it is, guys.
That's it. All of that.
All that, look at that.
The final drive is in.
Yep. Everything so far looks okay. All the bearings look good. All the gears. No missing teeth. Yeah, 9,000 miles. That's nothing to complain about there.
Amazing. Those are some pretty healthy looking gears.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't see much wear at all. None of the ends of the gears. Like, everything looks perfect for being beat on for years. All right.
I like how this works.
Yeah. Yeah, just this surprises me that's what locks in your 4-wheel drive and this doesn't break. I've never heard of anybody breaking this.
I'm telling you, it's probably
if you
the
have,
material.
let me know. Yeah, it's some type of cast. That's what it seems like. Doesn't seem like machined steel or anything.
Maybe it's powdered metal.
Pretty sweet. All right, we're gonna bolt all this stuff back together. We'll probably get some of that junk fluid out of there. We'll fill it up with new fluid. We have to put sealant, clean this off, put some new sealant on it. We're gonna put the sealant on it, put it back together, and then we're not gonna add any fluid until tomorrow. That way it gives the sealant type or time to cure. And then put some new axles in it, put everything back together, and I think we're pretty much done. Once this is done, before I end this video, we'll check out the diff, and we'll see what the inside of the diff looks like. Hopefully it's all good, but we're gonna get all this finished up, and then we'll be back with that. Got the diff pulled, hoping that there's nothing wrong with it. Pop that side.
Yeah. You tell me when you're ready.
Good.
Let me move up a little bit. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
The bolts are out. It is. Look, right there.
Where's the other bolt? There it is.
That's why it was catching. Acting weird for...
Okay, we're good. Battery died.
I bet
Typical
you that's
GoPro.
right.
But, yeah, so this is unfortunate, but we did see this happen on, we were watching a Blown Budget YouTube video, and this happened to Justin's. I'd have to
Well, yours was still locking in and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I think he mentioned on there that he couldn't remember if he Loctited his or not, and I put red Loctite on mine, and I let it sit without putting fluid in it until the next day, and then I filled it with fluid. So I know that this was Loctited with red Loctite, 100%. But it's been in there for this is December when we're filming this, so January, February. Oh, it is.
Oh, that's not good.
This broke off down inside of there.
That is not good.
Easy out. Oh, they're both broken.
There's two broken ones. I think it's
When
this
you
one and
pulled
this
that
one.
out, and I seen.
Yeah, the length.
These two right here are broke.
Oh, I can see them in there.
Yep.
I bet you they're out there. You know, they're
So they've
pulled
been-
out, so that made them weak.
This has been in for 9 months.
Something like that, yeah.
About 9 months. It's
Because it was,
March.
I was going to say March.
Yeah, I think March we did these. March or April.
Well, that's where most of them shavings are coming from, is probably the bolts. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little nick there.
Yeah, it's a good nick. I mean, it didn't hurt anything.
No, and there's the washers that they put on there. But I have another one of these. I have a spare one of these, which is,
But all this should be covered under Halo's warranty.
I don't know if they cover bolts backing out or not.
It's not our fault.
I guess we're gonna find out. That one's okay. So two are broken out inside.
Yeah.
And this one's bent.
This is messed up. These
Wonder-
threads are effed.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if in our install video if we show bolting this together or not. Maybe. Because if we show it, then
I would get all new bolts.
you'll see
honestly.
that it's Loctited.
We did when we redid my last one too.
I wouldn't mess around.
That's
I would not trust any one of these bolts.
Oh
anymore.
no, I'll get all new bolts. That's a washer there. So let's pull this out.
Just pull it straight out.
Well, try to keep that together. Try to pull the whole thing out. Maybe set it up on its
Yeah,
side.
ready to flip it out.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Ready?
There you go.
Yeah, look at all that.
I think we. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's a washer.
Yeah, there's a couple little.
Well,
I think I might have caught it in time though.
yeah.
As long as nothing's messed up in the diff,
This
the actual diff part.
kind of pulled apart on me
this
here.
Here, set it down this way. There. Pull the cap off. That's okay.
I think we have a spare one of these ring gears.
Yeah,
don't
we do. We have a spare pinion too.
And that's all it broke down in, so we can just
Get the,
swap this out.
It's just on an angle. That's the locking gear.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Teeth are all good. Spiders are all good. That makes me feel better. Carrier is okay.
You think these broke off in here because these were maybe already started being backed out? It just made them weak because they weren't the whole way down in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that would be my guess.
Well, I'm glad we pulled it.
Yeah.
Because that could have been,
Disastrous.
yeah. So I don't think it'll be.
Oh.
Hell, I might even just worry about this ring gear later. I have a spare ring gear.
Yeah.
And then we'll easy out those. And then we can get this stuff put back together. Get new bolts. I have a new shift fork. And I have another ring gear and I have another pinion just in case. So if you're running a Halo 30, whether you know you Loctited it or not, you should probably check it. It seems about the year mark they start coming loose. Sherry's came loose when you were running the old school Visco Halo locker, not the full Halo 30, but the locker. So I wonder if they just can't handle the stress of being locked in.
I don't know. These bolts don't really look any different. Maybe they're smaller than the ones in the smart locks.
They're smaller in diameter. Yeah.
Are they?
Yours are fine thread too. These are.
Yeah, mine are definitely fine thread.
These are not fine thread.
Because, I mean, we've always Loctited mine too, but
yeah,
they've never, because I've had mine apart. I can't tell you how many times.
Well, you probably have it apart so many times that it doesn't. Have
yeah, that doesn't have a chance to loosen up.
It doesn't have a chance. This was put together and it hasn't been touched in 9 months.
Right.
So
there could be something to that.
Yeah, and I know we've changed the diff fluid once since then, so it had to have been
recent,
probably within the last few months.
Well, I mean, it was at Windrock that you noticed something was wrong.
Yeah, it just didn't
It was still
feel.
walking in and out. It was just catching.
Yeah, everything was working fine. It just felt like I think I mentioned earlier in this video that I felt a click, and
because you had to drive it back in, locked in.
I drove it back. I stripped my final drive gear. I locked it in, so I had 4-wheel drive to get off the trail. And on the way back, I felt it click like 2 times, like something was grabbing.
Yeah, whereas any other time you're only probably driving it in 4-wheel drive for short bursts, so you probably couldn't feel it when you were.
Yeah, so I'm really glad we pulled it apart, and I think we caught it before any major malfunctions. But
it's hard to say.
I can't believe with those being broke and washers running around in there that it didn't mess anything up.
Well, the ring and pinion are really, really hard.
Well, I mean, it didn't nick the carrier or nothing.
Well, I mean, the spider gears are really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, these washers were down all through.
Yeah.
Going through all that.
You know, I don't see any signs of anywhere.
Nope, just right there on the case.
No, I don't even think the case is nicked.
Just
a little bit
in here.
There's a little bit down in here.
Maybe just right there. Oh no, that was just metal on there.
Oh, maybe it was just metal I was seeing.
Yeah. And if you're just tuning in, if you're newer to the channel, we run Halo 30 discs, but we use our stock Visco case, which if you're interested in doing that, it'll save you $750. And you just have to switch out some bearings, press in an adapter, some new seals, and you can use your stock case, and it saves you $750. And if anything would ever happen to our case, we'd just upgrade to the billet case, and it's like $750. So, but having said that, we're gonna tend to this. Everything else is fixed. Got everything back together. Got the radius rod fixed. Got the transmission back in. It's all good. Everything else is ready to rock and roll. We're ready to hit the trails again. But I'm probably gonna be down a little bit getting some bolts. So we're still gonna run a few videos. I have a few garage videos that we're putting out. We have some. We have like a flips and flop video that you'll probably see maybe next or before this. I'm not really sure when I'm putting that one out. So
on each one.
But we'll get this fixed up. We'll get back on the trail as soon as we can, because we don't like any downtime. We like riding every other week or so. But
be right there.
Thanks to our channel members, our sponsors, our channel sponsors. Thanks to all you guys. You guys are awesome. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button if you're not already. And in a few days, you'll see another video pop up.
Are they all there?
And we'll see you on that one.